The opening scene, this guy comes in on a motorcycle, and already he parks in the handicap space.
Okay.
So already we're like, this guy's no good.
Uh-oh.
Now, although...
Oh, because he's not handicapped.
He's not handicapped.
Okay, I thought this was your way of telling me.
Although arguably, if you're planning a mass shooting... That is a mental handicap.
Yeah.
So ironically, we are giving these guys better. We are giving these
better access.
We're giving the mass shooters the best parking spaces. So and this guy, he looks crazy.
Okay.
And he looks so crazy. He's just walking so crazy through the grocery store that someone that works there is like, "Sir, you can't walk that." He's like, "Sir, you can't walk that crazy in here."
Is he juggling a cantaloupe?
And he's like, "If you think my walking is crazy, check out my shooting the place up."
Oh no!
And he takes out a shotgun, and this guy just starts blasting. He's not hitting people right away. He's hitting produce.
Okay.
He's blasting frozen foods. He's blasting canned goods. You know what this guy's doing? He's slashing prices. 30% off. 40% off. 2 for 1. Boom, 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 boom.
Crazy Eddie.
And then they're outside. They're like, calling Cobretti. Calling the Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's always like the nerdy guy who goes, but I don't like the Cobra. But the Cobra is crazy.
What about paperwork?
The last time we called the Cobra, he killed everybody. Yeah, the paperwork.
Yeah.
So the Cobra shows up driving like a Dick Tracy car. He's got like a 1920s. It looks like a big anal suppository car. It's just this big, ugly looking car.
Okay.
And there's he has a license plate that says Awesome 50.
I don't get it.
So I guess Awesome 1 through 49 were taken at the DMV. It's hard to get the vanity plate you want.
Right. The original email addresses.
Exactly. So he goes in and he comes in wearing his sunglasses, looking real cool.
Love it.
And the guy shoots at him, and he takes a minute to get behind this, like the most obvious. There's a lot of product placement, so there's this very obvious like giant Pepsi display that he like poses next to.
Okay.
But then he takes out a Coors and he opens the Coors. And like during the hostage situation, he takes a minute to go, cool, refreshing Coors. So he does shoot he shoots a hostage, and then Cobretti comes out of the freezer with his gun drawn.
Oh.
And the gunman, he has the hostages right beside him, and then he pulls out a bomb.
Pulls out a bomb?
He's got like a pipe bomb. He made it home, and he's like, "Hey man, you don't come any closer. You come any closer to me, I'm going to waste them, and I'm going to blow this whole place up."
Wait, what?
First, I'm going to shoot them with my gun.
Sure.
And then I'm going to set off this bomb I made at home.
Oh.
And I'm going to blow the whole block up. And they cut to Cobretti, and he's got his gun out and his sunglasses on. And he goes, "Go ahead. I don't shop here." The rest of the movie after that great line, it's all a build up to the greatest line you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Everything after that, the rest of the movie is a weird mix of shootouts and car chases. And then that's interspliced with Sylvester Stallone just doing lame food jokes. So it's like bang, 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 you're the disease, I'm the cure, you know? And then an explosion, and then a car chase, and then it cuts to him. He takes a giant novelty cheeseburger, and he's like, "Hey, look how big this cheeseburger is." Can you imagine if this was your real cheeseburger? It's all just like food jokes. He's like, "Your problem is you eat too much." To his partner, he's like, "You eat too much sugar. You should have some fish and rice." Like the love interest that they're trying to protect because she saw a murder. Like they're trying to protect Brigitte Nielsen, who was actually dating Sylvester Stallone at the time.
Nice.
She's like hot and tall, and they're trying to the evil axe people are trying to kill her because she saw them kill somebody. And then so they're on the run, and then at one point they're in a diner, and she just like puts too much ketchup on her fries.
Oh my god!
And he's like, "Hey, what do you got over there?" He's like, "What are are these fries the electoral map in the last presidential election? Because they're turning red." The police are like, "There's a crazy serial killer on the loose," and Cobra's like, "I think it's a group of people." And they're like, "You're crazy, Cobretti." He's like, "This sounds like the work of a bunch of guys that are clanging axes together, if you ask me. This sounds like the work of the Axe and Knife Club." And they're like, "You have no reason to think that, Cobretti. You're crazy, Cobretti." that's a crazy theory. It's out of nowhere. And he's like, that's how I feel.
Because they were all killed with axes and knives.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a movie. My favorite scene in a movie.
Okay.
And it's from the movie. It's called Under the Rainbow.
I don't know.
And it's about a failed Nazi plot that's fictional to defeat the Americans and the Allies. Okay. And the plan is that they have a Nazi agent who happens to be a little person.
I'm in.
And he has a monocle.
Okay. Oh, God.
And he's a tiny little Nazi. Which is, I'm sorry, kind of adorable.
Does he have little Nazi?
He's a little Nazi.
Little Nazi big mustache?
He's got the Hitler mustache.
Oh, I was hoping he had a really big one.
Oh, no. Well,
little guy, big mustache.
little Nazi, little mustache.
Yeah.
And he's a little Hitler, but he's a little person.
Okay.
And the plan is that this little person is going to meet a Japanese secret agent, undercover agent, who's in America. He's going to meet him at a hotel and slip him the plans.
Okay.
The secret plans for the defenses of all of the secret defenses of the Americans. So these are the plans that will defeat the Americans.
Okay.
And he's like, we'll just pick a hotel to meet at. The little person, the miniature Nazi, the little Nazi is going to meet the Japanese man at this hotel. But wouldn't you know it, the hotel that they picked for the little person to meet the Japanese guy.
Oh, God.
First, a busload of Japanese tourists pull up. Because, okay, so Hitler says to Hitler gives him the orders. We see Hitler. And Hitler says, you're going to meet a Japanese guy. And he's like, so just look for a Japanese guy. And then the little Nazi says, how will he know who I am? And Hitler's like, dude.
Come on.
You're the little Nazi. You look like you're the only little Nazi in the world.
Yeah.
But just when the Japanese guy gets there, who should pull up to this hotel? You know, it's 1939, but a giant bus.
Okay.
So the bus pulls up to the hotel and it's full of Japanese guys. And on the side, it says Japanese Amateur Photography Society. You'll never guess what that spells.
Oh, boy.
You'll never guess what that spells.
Oh, boy. I'm putting it together.
So this was the hotel where the little person is supposed to meet the Japanese guy. This hotel just filled up with Japanese guys.
Okay.
And you're never going to guess who else is staying at this hotel in 1939. But all of the little people, because they're also currently filming The Wizard of Oz.
Holy sh!
So the Japanese Photography Society shows up, and the little people, all the little people from who are going to be in The Wizard of Oz show up at the hotel, where it just so happens that the Japanese guy has to meet the little Nazi to get the plans. It's almost hard to believe that this is a true story.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
Okay.
But here's the scene. The scene is little Nazi. He's there. Hitler's there. Hitler's got the giant swastika behind him. He's really Hitler.
Classic.
It's just he's really just being Hitler.
Yeah.
And
regular size Hitler.
He's like, you meet the Japanese guy. You just happen to be a little person. That's not part of this. That's an amazing coincidence. He's like, you meet the Japanese man, get the plans. We are going to, and he goes and he walks over and he stands in front of the little person and he says, with these plans, we will defeat the Allies and we will take over the world. And then the little guy gets distracted. And then Hitler says, Heil Hitler. And then the little guy says, oh, Heil Hitler. And he Heil Hitler's Hitler in the nuts. And there's this loud clanging sound. And Hitler's like, oh, mein jingle bells, or whatever he says. He's like, oh. This is the greatest scene in the history of cinema. Hitler's like, oh, he got me right in my noodle sack and Wiener Schnitzel. This happens in a movie.
Oh, fuck.
He's like, oh, he hit me right in my Anne Frank.
You want to say you're Al Franken?
My Al Franken. It's an anachronism.
Al Franken's German for Hitler penis.
Yeah.
Al Franken.
Right in my Al Franken. And Tom Davis. Right in my comedy duo. The past was doing its best.
That's the theme song.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They were doing their best.